Welcome everybody back to Boost Motion, guys. And today let's talk about it. Yes, as the title states, these dealerships are finally caving in. They are willing to negotiate with us. But before I get into the video, guys, first thing, if you're part of the Boost Motion family, you guys have already hit the like button. Thank you, and I really appreciate it. And if you are new to this Boost Motion channel, I am a Nissan Infiniti enthusiast. I'm a car enthusiast. Also, I am an owner of a Mercedes C63, but I'm a regular person like you, and I see what's going on in the market. And we're going to talk about it in this video because this weekend was definitely eye-opening. Anyway, guys, let's go. Let's jump into it. So over the weekend, for first thing, my Boost Motion family already know that I am looking to get another car for the channel soon. So I'm looking for specially performance cars, but this doesn't only stop with those cars. This applies to the whole market completely. If you haven't been noticing, in the last 4 to 5 months, interest rates have been going up because of the Fed. We noticed that a lot of banks aren't giving out loans above LTV anymore. That's pretty much above you would say black value or auction value anymore. So it's a lot harder to get car loans now, and also because of the inflated price of all the free money that we're giving out to people in the last 2 years, people don't have it anymore. Those days are over, and the market needs a correction, not a crash, but a correction. So this weekend I was looking for specific cars. I'm not gonna tell you guys exactly yet, but I ended up calling and looking at the dealership lots and just asking about what they're going through. How quickly are they selling the cars? And the first thing they said to me when I first called for these specific cars, they said to me is, "So what is your offer?" Now, I used to be a salesman. I used to sell other stuff, not cars. And I understand that usually salesmen, that's one of the things they usually would say. What is your offer? But that comes then in after them trying to figure out if you're what you're paying with, are you paying cash, your finance, um, you know, specifically. This was like literally the first thing I said. I want this car. Is it available? They said yes, it's available. What is your offer? Like this, it was right to the point. So the second thing that these dealerships were letting me know about was, well, the reason why we're selling, because I asked why you guys want me to throw an offer, like, how long have you had the car? And these dealerships were honest and open. We've had this car for too long, and we need these cars gone. That's the sentiment I was getting from them. Now, if you guys don't understand the 90-day rule, right? The 90-day rule is this. I don't care what car you comply it for, but it's mainly for supercars and exotic cars and cars that are more specialty. But let's just keep this for the basic market. The 90-day rule. So, because of the 90-day rule, if a car sits in the lot for about 3 months, it costs the dealerships money to keep them there. Not all dealerships go out there and buy their cars with liquid money, with cash. Some get lines of credit to actually purchase their cars and actually fill the lots up, right? So, every month they have to pay back that debt with interest. This is why it's not good to see cars on lots sitting there for about 9 months to a year. Now, does this really apply to like brand new cars? Yes. Does it apply to used cars? Yes. It all depends on the deal and how they do business. But if you see a car sitting there on 90 days or more, usually they want to push these cars. They want to get them off the lots. Second thing is, depending on if it's closer to the end of the year, which it is, we're in November right now. Every business has like a projection. Everything's projection and profit. What can they do every quarter? Quarter one is January to March. Quarter two is April to June, and then four. And have you ever heard of Q4, which is pretty much the last quarter of the year? This is usually when people usually spend more money, like let's say on Christmas stuff. But because we're technically in a recession or correction right now, people aren't going to really spend that much money, and they're going through all of these high interest rate changes, and the car prices are super high. No one's buying. A lot of cars are now sitting on lots for a long time, very long time. So these salesmen were telling me, yeah, this car has been 100 and something days, 90 something days. I've already known this because I use car gurus, because I went after specific cars, but they were willing to make an offer. And I had some really good conversations with them. Now, from what they told me in their own specific business, that depending on what brands of cars they're possibly selling, some actually do sell pretty quick. For instance, like newer cars are selling depending on the type of cars they are. I would say, for instance, if it's like a Ford, not so much really. But the really expensive high-end luxury cars are still selling. And I don't know if I should make a video just talking about that specific market, but the more average day cars aren't really selling as high volume as you really think they should. Because people are not going to pay 5, 10K over for a Nissan Altima. They're not doing those. Those days are over. Now no one's paying 5, 10K over for a Dodge Ram. Those days are over. They're over. So all in all, there is a haggling room. There is negotiations that can happen now. You guys have the power. And us as the public, we don't understand that it's our wallet and no one has to go into it and rob us for something we really want. If you're patient enough to sit out there and wait it out a little bit, give it a couple more months, you can probably get a better deal. I'll use my own prime example, right? So there's been cars I've been looking at, been on deal lots for about 3 months already. Remember, I'm a car YouTuber and everything like that, so it's like I'm looking at like high-end cars. Some of these cars, I would say, for instance, one was $130,000 that they were priced it at in August. They marked it down now to 105. That lets you know how much the market was overinflated, and now with the higher interest rate and everything, no one's buying these specific cars because they had so much free money and interest rates were lower. Cash was easier to get, loans were easier to get with lower interest rate. But now because the interest rates are higher, they have to make the correction. Think about it, $130,000 now to 105. So when I called them up, I said, "Hey, listen, I'm interested." They said, "What is your offer?" So we ended up getting into a negotiation, and I got them down to about high 90s. And that was just over a phone call. You know what I'm saying? So there's more negotiation that could be done probably within person. I still could get the inspection done on the car to see if there's any other problems. This car might, I might be able to haggle this car down to maybe 91, 92,000. But it's just so funny knowing that they projected at 130 in August. And now in November, they've been sitting on it so long. They're like, listen, take this thing away from us for high 90s. You see what I'm saying? And that's still, some of these dealers aren't really, I would say, biting a bullet. They might have got the car at auction. It might have been a trade in for a specific price. And they may not be paying too much on it. It all depends. But sometimes they just want to get this stuff off the lot. No matter if it's a trade-in or if it's from the auction, they just want to get rid of it. So all in all, guys, I want you guys to know the power is within your hands. Understand that. Look at the market. Look at the price trends. Use Car Gurus. Look through the price trends for that specific year or vehicle. See if the prices are going down. Do your best to look at that specific car and become a master or expert at that vehicle when it comes to pricing. Look at the mileage versus the prices. That's the best example I would really say how I look at things. I look at it as, all right, this is how much you guys want the car for price of the car, and this is the mileage. And you kind of can see the variance between the two. If you can find a car that's mileage is lower, is a little bit lower, but its price is somewhere right around mid, there's some haggle room because that means you might be able to get that mid price to a lower price for its decent mileage. And that all depends on accents and other variants and the trim levels. But just know that if you aim for these specific things, you can get a better deal. But every week that goes by, once again, on average, the wholesale rate is going to continue to, the deal to auction rate are going down between 0.3%, 0.5, in some cases 1% per week. So once again, as I told you guys before, there's a lead and lag. The wholesale auction rates are going down faster, but the retail is staying up inflated, but it's still steadily coming down. The correction is going to come from the dealership soon, but just got to give these things time. So outside of guys, you have good morning, good afternoon, good night. I just wanted to make a video just sharing some information on my experience, what I've actually saw as a consumer and what I see out there, because it's insane, man. It's definitely insane, but I believe the power is finally going back into the consumer hands. All right, so don't let these guys go in your pocket and rob you of your hard-earned money. Outside of that, you guys have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for tapping in with your boy Boost. Hopefully I earned your like button, your like today. Thank you. You guys have a good day. I appreciate you.